recorded.
Regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the Rose Community Service District. Welcome those who are on the line. Roll call.
Director Ben Washington.
Here.
Director Alfred Wallace.
Here.
Director Rick Webb.
Here.
Vice President Ben Stewart.
Here.
President Byron Glennon.
Here.
I would also like to ask roll call for General Manager Kim Domingo.
Here.
Director of Public Works John Houghton.
Here.
Director of Administration Sherry Pym is present. Legal Counsel John Comar.
Here.
Okay, we do have a quorum, 5-0.
Would everyone stand for the pledge, please? Ready? Begin. I pledge to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to change my comment following the pledge just a little bit. May the God that we just pledged forgive us for not being a nation that acknowledges being under God. Need an approval for the agenda. Motion to approve. Motion by Director Webb.
Second Director Stewart.
Second, Director Stewart. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. I won't read public comments, but there's someone out there on the line that would like to talk to us or speak to an issue. Now's the time. Hearing none, moving on to voluntary public roll call via teleconference. If you want to be sure that you're acknowledged, let us know who you are, and we will put you into the record.
Hi, Byron. This is John Joyce, members of the board. I'm reporting for the Roseman News.
Good evening, John.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for starting the meeting on time.
Thank you for being there, sir. Have a motion for CC1, approve the check voucher registration January 17th, 23 to January 30th, 23, and dated January 18th, 23.
So moved.
Motion by Director Stewart, second.
Director Webb.
Second by Director Webb. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. May I have a motion to approve minutes M1, M2, M3?
So moved.
Motion, Director Stewart. Second.
Second.
Second, Director Wallace. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. New business, N1, appointment of Director's voting member for the JPA. Presenter, Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members of the board, Section 3.1 of the Southern California Water Bank Authority Joint Powers Agreement provides for the appointment of a director from Roseman CSD. The previous director that was appointed was your retired general manager, Mr. Perez, so staff is recommending appointment of your current general manager. That would be me.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a move that the current GM continues that position there, Kim Domingo, as the appointee for the JPA.
Motion, Director Webb. Do I have a second?
Second, Director Stewart.
Second, Director Stewart. All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Now you get to occasionally drive to Wasco.
Bring back gifts, sir.
It's really good every once in a while, but
Acquaintance of mine, Jason Jean Quinto.
oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll bring back stuff.
Yeah.
right, N2, proposed resolution proclamation honoring former general manager Steve Perez. Director Rick Rep.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, so the Governmental Affairs Committee, we have met and we discussed this. And the reason it kind of came about, we all know Steve is the general manager here, but Steve had a life in this community. He had a life in the county, and he's just kind of been everywhere. Like I said, I didn't know, but the other day having conversation, I'm not going to divulge his age of 70, but he's a mature guy. But I think that one of the things, we can always talk the good when someone's no longer here. So I would hope that the board agrees with me on this here. Director Ross and myself, we had discussed this in committee, that we look to come up with a resolution proclamation, and the staff can work on that at the direction of the GM. But there were several things at the county, special districts and all these things. There was Kern County Sheriff, he was part of the electrical union and all that. That's a lot of a person's life. And I have information I'm going to forward to Sherry so they can start working on it. I'd like the board support in us working on something so we can pull all these things together and recognize someone who has probably over 50 years of his life, not adult life as a whole, the public service.
He was supervisor, too.
The Kern County supervisor, absolutely. So I think that it's going to take a little bit of time to pull this all together, but I think a fitting tribute not only to him, but to the respect that he's given our community, he's given the district, and this is a way of telling him, and a thank you for the effort again. 50-plus years of public service at any capacity is a lot, but a lot of us know firsthand from that. So I would like, it's more or less sharing with the board, because I spoke with Chair, and we have some logistics that we have to work through before we bring the full package to the board to look at. But I would like to get the boards, maybe you folks know a little bit more, but I have he's done a lot. And I think, Byron, you being around for a while, Director Wallace, you've been with folks and add some layers to it. But I just think he was a coach. I didn't even know that he was a coach at one time.
Yeah, one of the things that I think we should do, and it's through the school. I don't know if Roseman High School, Palmdale High School and Howell Valley High School, they have a honor a graduate from this, that's successful in different areas. I don't think Roseman has ever honored any student that went through Roseman High School.
I don't think he went through them. I did.
Yeah, he did.
Byron knows that he was there. Was he a student, Byron? Not quite.
But I don't know if it would be appropriate to encourage the school district to begin to do something like that. It's kind of like a history lesson, I guess, is what it would come down to. But maybe in talking with the superintendent, you would say, have you honored any graduates for their accomplishments in the past? And I'm guessing she'll say, well, I don't know if we did.
Well, Byron, to tack on that, Mr. Jim, Bob Vintolet, who's one of the board members, he had reached out to me about, us talking as boards to kind of see of mutual interest of the community. So perhaps we can work on a part of that. And he had asked, I told him about you coming on board. He was interested to meet you. So maybe when we work up that, we could kind of take them a product over there and offer that up to them, and maybe Steve could be the first one.
Now, is Mario the president of the board?
He just got reelected. Oh, did he? Mario did? So it'd be a good thing, but like I said, I like that also there. But that's what we have been looking at, and it's a lot of moving parts there, but the hope was that the board kind of liked the idea so we could continue to move forward with it, and also that I want to get it started sooner than later so we're not pressing staff here and running people down, because I'm talking at the federal level with our congressman, Speaker of the House, with our local people, Sharon Grove, Lackey, Scribner, and whoever else. But I think that's kind of a bit in tribute to someone that's worked hard on every level to bring things to East Kern and even at the state when he was part of the special district.
So I agree. We need to move as quickly as we can, but we want to make sure it's all encompassing and we don't skip somebody.
And what I would like to do here, N2, and it would be the resolution and all will be at a later date. This is more of an information part for the resolution things to come forward, but that's kind of what the plan that we were looking at or thinking of.
I think you guys pretty much have the direction, don't you, what we wanted done?
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'll get that information to you, that bio that he had sent me, and then, sir, we'll work on getting in touch with a board member that's left house. I had told him about you, and he was very interested in probably the whole board would be, but Bob in particular there. So thank you very much. And it's not at this point, it's not for the proclamation resolution.
So we'll bring this back to the board for approval of the resolution.
Yeah, so I would ask that we just table into from the resolution part of it, and there was just an informational part that we could push forward.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
10.3, staff report regarding approval of resolution 2023-1, amending the administrative handbook in section 6015.5. Presenter, Sherry.
Thank you, Mr. President. So, as mentioned in the staff report that I prepared, back in August, on August 24th, a surprise inspection of the district's public works department was conducted by the State of California Department of Industrial Relations, or Cal-OSHA, division of that. It was discovered during the inspection that the district's written Injury and Illness Prevention Program, the IIPP, did not contain specific information regarding employee access to the program in accordance with Section 3203.88 of California Labor Code. The DIR issued a notice of citation on January 26, 2023 to the district, and the notice stated the violation was corrected on January 14th. So I did a review of the district's administrative handbook, Series 6000, Section 6015.5. The suggested language that was provided by the DIR was incorporated into the amendment of this section, as shown in Exhibit A, and this provides specific information to the district's employees of their rights to examine and receive a copy of the IICP. So the amendment is necessary to comply with the action required by the DIR, and the staff recommends approval of resolution number 2023-1.
Any questions about this change in the handbook?
I just have a question. The inspection they did they find anything else out of place just this year? And they're saying fix it, or we'll come back and make sure.
Correct, yeah, it was just a notice, not a citation.
Okay.
So I have until the 15th.
To show that we voted on it
Correct.
and amended in the
Yeah, and that's what the amendment is. If you look at that section of the Series 6000, which I provided in the
Yes.
exhibit.
And Rick, this is John. To answer your question, they found absolutely no other violations other than some verbiage that wasn't in our handbook. That our handbook hadn't been updated since this new verbiage had come out. So that's all they could find, but there was no fines, just as long as we get this resolution added.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thank you, John. Thank you. I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution 2023-1, the administration handbook section 6015.1.
Do I have a second? Second, Director Wallace. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Presentation, BR1, Water Reclamation Plant Project Update. Ryan Becker, Chief Water Reclamation Plant Operator. Are you out there, Ryan? John, are you speaking for him?
I wasn't. He said he was going to be on, but maybe he missed it.
Maybe we got here too quickly. We'll come back if he comes on. We'll come back to it. And do you want to Tim? Do you want to say anything? You've probably been out there, got your feet wet a little bit, didn't you?
Yeah, almost literally. So I can fill in a little bit about what's going on out there. The plant, in a nutshell, the plant is producing the quality effluent that meets our waste discharge requirements. That's the main thing. They are still working out the startup issues, some of the startup issues, and also the punch list items. Most of them have been, the contractor's still working on the punch list items. we've been looking at options for solids handling that we've been investigating because there's a concern that we're going to be out of capacity for solids handling. And Mr. Becker has provided me a lot of information on things that he feels that he needs to successfully continue the operation of the plant, and I am taking it under advisement and working with finance as well, the finance director, to make sure that we can give Mr. Becker what he needs to operate the plant. So, in a nutshell, that's what happened.
When you first went out to visit it, comparing it back to when you were there before,
Yeah.
what did you notice different?
I mean, other than the headworks and ponds, that's all that was there when I was when the last time I was out there. There's a lot of.
Were you impressed with what we're trying to do?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the initial intent to create tertiary water and to then water irrigate some of your parks and things like that. That didn't end up working out. So to kind of pivot and address the effluent as a resource was a good pivot. I mean, obviously, and especially in an adjudicated basin.
And we had to do something.
Absolutely.
We were in trouble with a lot if we didn't do something.
And we're still working on resolving those issues. The notice of violation that was issued last year, and Ryan put together a response. He put together a monthly report. There were some things that had been lacking as an update, and I provided some verbiage and some promises to the regional board that we would respond a little quicker on some of these items. So I've been trying to get some of the load off of Mr. Becker, and
That's about it. Other than the public works, I'll give you an update on the public works side of what we've been doing out there also.
All right.
Thanks, Ken. Is that Ryan? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Greg, Director Washington. Sorry about that. Yeah.
All right. Director's reports are future agenda items. Director Washington, you're out there. Anything you want to?
I sure am. Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to start by congratulating our Director of Administration, Sherry Tim, and her staff for the successful conversion of our billing software. I know it was a difficult task. Sherry and you and your staff were up for the challenge, so thank you for that.
Thank you.
I also want to remind the public of our monthly newsletter that's put out by our PR team and sent along with your monthly bill. In today's world, many of us go to social media for news and updates. And I'll give an example. I recently monitored some chatter on a local site regarding our new account numbers. And keep in mind, our PR team provides vital, factual, up-to-date information in the form of Facebook, our monthly newsletter, and our website. The answer to some of those questions I saw on that particular site was right there in our December newsletter. So there's no need to rely on what a friend's friend told you on Facebook. Instead, I encourage everyone to take time to read your monthly newsletter to stay up to date on RCSD business. I think our PR team does an outstanding job of informing the community. So with that said, I'll yield back to you, Mr. President.
That's a very good reminder to all of our customers. Ryan, we just slipped by you, and Kim gave a 45-minute presentation.
A quite good one, I might add.
Well, I'm sure you did a fabulous job.
He certainly did, Ryan. Watch out.
And he did say he was impressed with your concern for the bugs.
Well, That is my favorite aspect. Without the microorganisms, wastewater can't be treated.
Right.
Anything you don't know what he says, but anything you wanna?
Really, since the last time we spoke, as far as the construction side, it's kind of been a little bit on standstill. However, I can still provide some updates on it. The backup generator. The backup generator is currently operational. However, we are not utilizing it due to some power draw issues. And it's currently in the hands of engineering to see about harmonic filters and what they got to do to rein in the amount of power that's drawing. The blower number two is time, as you guys are aware. We were still waiting. Our units waiting to have parts delivered to them, and once they receive the parts, they will make themselves available to install their delivery. It is basically the same thing that happened with the first one, the inverter, and that's the parts that they're waiting on to install and replace. The scum pumps, the manufacturers picked them up roughly about a month ago, and they found out that they were wired incorrectly and burnt themselves up, so they're waiting on 2 new scum pumps, and they will have them delivered to us, and they will install and wire them themselves. Some of the other items that have to be done are somewhat miscellaneous. Raised manholes, raised valve cans, install 10 stainless steel hoses around the property. Pump manufacturer has to come out and check the 2 utility pumps to see the flanges are leaking on them. And so the engineering firm and the construction company are still actively working. We're waiting on a couple things from Parkson, but the main gentleman that worked on our job site did retire in December, so they're trying to find a replacement that is qualified, I guess I should say. They have a bunch of qualified people, but they need a special type to resolve a couple of the underlying issues that we have there. And that's when I have a construction update. As far as plant operation, the staff has been working through some operational challenges, if you will. I would call it challenges that we've been working through. It is a new plant. Some things are new design, and staff is currently working to resolve some challenges that we are experiencing. In the last 2 weeks since we talked, we continue our process control samples. Last week we sent samples to the lab for process analysis phase as part of our MRP and WDR. Currently working with an outside firm to resolve and get done our annual for the month or the year of 2022, and as well taught how to do it. So Rcsd as a whole will never have to incur the cost of paying someone to do the annual report anymore. One of the biggest things I'd like to touch on that the staff did is there was a design mishap, if you will, in one of the distribution boxes. And it won't sound very special, but it was actually very impressive. And I was personally very pleased with my staff, because to be honest with you, I couldn't have done what my staff did. They built a weird box. Nothing special.
Wow.
Weird box. But they 90% engineered it. They ordered all the material. They built it all. Many hours of welding and fabrication went into this. And at the end of the day, it's a weird box that's going to get covered. But I was very, very impressed with my staff's ability to be able to do that. And we installed that today. And it works great. And at the end of the day, that saved the company by doing this in-house roughly about $17,000+.
Excellent.
But more than that, I was very impressed with my staff to be able to build, manufacture, and design something like so. That's all I have for you guys tonight. Hey, Ryan, I know you're busy, and I love your excitement, but could you do me a favor, please? If your scheduling permits, what you just told us about your guys, put that in paper. On paper, I'll tell you why. We brag about people all the time. But when things come up, we start looking for recognition. It's like what you remember this. And I think that not just people in general, we love to brag about people, but we don't take a lot of the time to write down about it because whatever they did, it impressed the hell out of you. You told us about it. I think it's going to be really important because at some point, they may want to be able to brag about that and show that, and you may not be available for it. So if you could take the time, I know you got a crazy schedule. At some point, get that so we can get that into their files, their records, so that becomes something that's archivable for them. Thanks, sir.
Director Washington, I have a quick comment and question. Wow, a weird box. Sounds like, Kim, you're rubbing off on them a little bit already. It's pretty impressive. Yeah, but
I'm not going to take credit for that. They were already in the works on doing this before I got here. So,
boy, that's creativity at its finest. Quick question. Just want to go back to the blower and don't need a technical, long drawn answer. Just a quick yes or no. You've mentioned the blower on a couple meetings, and today you mentioned the inverter as a part. Is this a problem with the actual blower or the control panel that powers the blower?
It's a component inside the actual blower.
In the blower, gotcha.
And they're trying to figure out what caused the issue.
Do they think it's during construction or when they're making the blower, or do you think it's something that happened in installation or during startup, something just got fried, or we just don't know?
I would hate to speak on
Speculate.
Yeah.
what I don't know. I can tell you what I think, but what I think.
The other blower had the same issue though, and they replaced this part. Is this coming out of our budget, or is this kind of we're not really fully operational?
No, this is falling under warranty. So it's a difficult line. Construction is so far past construction that most of the warranty has fallen off. But arson, and we deal with Coos Hopkins, Brian Giacorda, the gentleman who came. Brian stands very highly behind his products, and he is convinced arson to fix this under warranty. Now, they are going to investigate what caused this, and if it is something from construction or something done wrong from the contractor, that will be addressed at a later time.
So John, you said an inverter issue in both blowers, huh? Correct?
Correct.
Yes, both. So when we first started up, the first blower had the problem, and Ryan asked them when they fixed that one, well, can't you fix the other one while you're here? And I think the response was, we'll wait to see if it does it again.
Gotcha.
So here we are in the second.
Here we are. All right.
So I apologize for the last two meetings. I haven't had good updates for you. It's been rough, stressful time at the plant, and that's all I have for you guys for tonight.
thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay, we're on to director's comments. Director Washington was up, and now Director Wallace.
No comments. Do we need to put on an agenda about funds for conferences?
That'll probably come in the budget, I imagine.
Correct.
Well, discussing the budget, yeah. Director Stewart
I have no updates tonight.
and Director Webb.
Yes, sir. Two things. One other question, and this is for the GM. When I was looking at the report there, I was looking at the power bill. And I know we keep talking about we have solar at some of our places, but I thought the number was kind of big for the utility bill. Could you just proof it over the last couple months to something about average? I know that these utilities are getting a little bit ridiculous. I know the gas company's been calling out as far as that. Could you just kind of, if that's an average, good, but if you just kind of look at that for me and let me know what you think or what you've seen. And this is for the directors. the RCAC. That's the Rural Community Assistance Corporation. They have training, and it's free. Good stuff, guys. I want to encourage everyone to go. They're 2-hour webinars, a lot of them. But I told Ryan about the one that I had, that the information he's been giving me at these meetings helped me do really good on the little pop quizzes. But it's a good thing here. It's kind of geared towards small districts. There's some good information. So you folks like to go on there. It's the Rural Community Assistance Corporation. And they have them on just about everything. The one I attended this morning is talking about small districts, partnership types, working to get things done. All of it's not going to be applicable to us, but some of it was talking about partnership. We talked about that before, about working with the small municipalities and utilities. So that's very good. Then also March the 16th, they call it the Cal Tap Fair. It's down in Valencia. It's a free fair, and they're going to have a whole bunch. One of the topics they'll have PFAS, which we talked about before. Big topic, drought response. It says getting a hand on with the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act. But anyway, a lot of good stuff. The thing I like about it, stuff is free, and it's stuff that's very applicable to us. But yes, ma'am.
Is Cal Texas?
No, it's Cal Tap. C-A-L Tap. Tom, Adam, Paul. T-A-P Fair. That's, the booklet I gave you, that was part of that fair. But anyway, yeah, that's it there. And guys, there's a ton of classes in there, 2-hour block type thing. So the last thing, I've been working to try to get this water conservation thing going. And one of the problems we're running into is that all the big boys get obligated to the bigger shows and whatnot. So I'm still trying to come up with a day. The one day we had kind of picked 2 of the big presenters I'd like to have here. They probably wouldn't be available because of bigger things, but I still want it to come to pass. And then the other thing I would like to look at, water conservation is important, but I would hope instead of always saying conservation, you brought it up before, Byron, we need to make it a lifestyle, because I don't know what you called it, but you called it something outside of water conservation, so we could make it an ongoing thing. But I'm still working on that there. But we talk about snowpack and all the water there, but guess what? We've had snowpacks before and all the water there, and we still had a drought. So, well, let's keep working on that. But anyway, this for the directors, I think this is a good tool for us as far as keeping ourselves up to date on things. And I'm good, sir. Thank you very much.
I was asked a question. Is that program still in? We have it for removing grass.
So
we don't
do that. That was through
That's
the
somebody else.
conservation district.
Yeah, the conservation.
That's on the webpage. It's still going on?
I don't know. I believe it already expired. I have not heard anything else.
Sure. One of the things they said that they would have it until the money ran out.
Okay.
So you may want to call them. You can go on their website, Albert, and they said when the money's gone, to be done.
Okay. Thank you.
Director Wood, real quick, just because you guys brought it up, I forgot to mention it. One of the things yesterday, we did shut the plant down for a number of hours yesterday, and they did do the solar tie-in to our infrastructure out of the wastewater plant. So big portions of done, all the installation is done. However, they do anticipate it will be mid to in March. They tied into our infrastructure. Now they will wire all the solar panels to the infrastructure, and then they will commission each piece of equipment. So that will all
Yeah, the number just jumped out on me while I was looking at the numbers there. And like I said, after hearing about what Southern California gas did, let's jump on everybody. But anyway, thank you for that information. If you can look at that for us, let me know. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, want to piggyback on that right quick of what Director Webb said. I'm glad you brought that back up, Kim, because I had a question I wasn't going to ask. But when I was out at the reclamation plant, I noticed solar panels out there. Those are the ones that you're speaking of that were tied in?
Yeah. Ryan Becker reported on that.
Oh, okay. And just curious, how much energy in percentage is powering up the plant itself? Do we have any idea? Are we around 15, 20%, or?
So currently it's not. What Ryan tells me the projection is that it won't go into operation until March. So I frankly have not looked deeply into that, but I certainly can bring that information back. I mean, typically, I was involved with a lot of power purchase agreements with the county on county facilities, so I am pretty familiar with that. It's typically they shoot for an 80% to 90% because you don't. The more money they put in to the facilities, they don't want to make too much energy because they don't get recouped.
Right.
So it's only up to almost what you use, and then and that's what they sell back to. Yeah, absolutely.
Great, and if not, you have a lot of space out there.
All right, you had mentioned PFAS. I attended my first CASA, California Association of Sanitation Agencies conference, and John Halvin was there with me. I was looking forward to hearing Aaron Brockovich on PFAS. By layman's definition, PFAS are chemicals that are added to many products to make them smoother and slipperier. One speaker summed up the entire conference for me by this statement: "This is informational, not technical." I would alter his summary statement: "This is indoctrinational, not technical information." I feel I was being indoctrinated about PFAS, not given technical information. The best comment I heard was at the climax of the presentation. After presenting all that we can do to affect our environment, he added, "But nature is nature," implying that nature has sovereign control. How wrong he was. God is sovereign. And I really don't understand the big concern about PFAS. John, I don't know if that expresses your sentiments. I talked with you a little bit about it, but I don't know if you want to add anything about the CASA conference.
No, I pretty much, that's what my sentiments exactly.
Hey, I have a couple comments about that, Director Washington here. I've been a little intrigued by that. In fact, Greg Wood enlightened me to it a couple years ago. But PFAS is, for example, that microwave bag of popcorn that you enjoy. It's lined with that particular material. Pots, the pizza box, quite a few things that you'll find that in. I even went as far as to pull up an old movie. I believe it's called Dark Waters, and it tells the whole story about PFAS and DuPont and what it did to the community where they were dumping their waste into a riverbed. It was a really good movie. I really encourage people to take a look. It's very educational. So that's my 2 cents on it. So I kind of think a little different when I eat that bag of microwave popcorn.
I think you had almost a nickel there, more than 2 cents.
Is that PFOBS?
No, it's PFAS.
PFAS.
Yeah. And I guess I want to say they're more than difficult to measure. They are impossible to measure.
Yeah.
All right. General Manager's update. Our General Counsel's update.
Nothing from council tonight.
Good evening, John.
Good evening. How are you?
Good. General Manager's update.
Thank you, Mr. President. Couple items. I just have a few items. One, kind of a report back on the board member training. It did make it onto the agenda this evening, but council sent some materials to us because it was requested by the board to ask council for material samples and also, roughly how much it would cost. would be much less than the $5,000 CHI quote. So I'll poll the board here in the next couple weeks for availabilities to see if we can, so that it can be considered at the next board meeting.
Mr. Jim, on that there, before we get past that, when we do that, I know historically we do things maybe weekday-ish, but if you could, when you talk to my other board members, maybe either Friday or Saturday, some of us still work every day, and it's tough, and trying to get down the road to get there is even tougher. So if you could put that passionate plea to my fellow board members, we can consider a Friday, even a Saturday early morning. That would be real helpful for the folks that still work.
That'd be fine with me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, I know you'll get back to it, but you can kind of throw those in a spot.
I'll leave it open. I won't restrict the days. You guys tell me what's available.
Okay, I'll throw it out now. I'm fine with it.
Okay. The other item that was asked for us to investigate was the medical benefits extension for retirees policy. I've done a little bit of research, reaching out to surrounding agencies, and also discussed this with council. We're not ready to go back to committee with the policy recommendation yet. So hold tight for that. We received a call for nominations for seat C of the CSDA Board of Directors from CSDA for the 2024 to 2026 term. That was Steve's old seat. So if any of you are interested in serving in that seat and want to be considered for that, let me know. I've got the materials here. I've accepted the appointment to the ACWA Region 7 nominating committee. Thanks to President Glenn for referring me. So I've accepted that. And finally, I'm still getting up to speed on the district operations, and I just want to say a special thanks to Sherry, John, and all the staff for their patience answering all my questions and helping me get up to speed. So thanks to the staff. And that's it.
And welcome aboard, sir.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Any questions? All right. Director of Administration.
Yes, so we have been officially reopened to the public for 1 week. The volume of folks walking through the doors, we're averaging maybe 3 to 6 customers a day. I think we had 10 was our highest day. I think a lot of our customers have gotten accustomed to paying bills electronically. But time will tell whether we have more people walking in. We do see more people coming in to establish service in person and doing so over the phone. We're looking forward to just building that rapport with the customers and moving forward with our next project.
And the boardroom's open to the public, right?
The boardroom would be by appointment if they need to request it, to reserve it. Is that what you mean?
No, I mean, come to our meetings.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yes, that's correct.
See y'all, and thank you on it.
It's open now, correct?
It is open now, that is correct.
Yeah. You just have to get people to attend us.
I've never been very many come.
I know, 3.
Yeah,
When I was on the board previously, we had 3.
Yeah, that was a high number too.
It was.
They only show up when they're upset with Rick.
Yeah, apparently,
It will get 4, huh?
I've been beat up before.
All right. Any questions for Sherry?
I do have one comment for you, young lady.
Yes.
You came in a whirlwind, and the whirlwind kept going, and you had to help the new GM there. I thank you very much because you've been trying to be everything to everybody, and sometimes you can't be that, but you've been doing that. So I think that I know the background you came from. We talked about it. It's close, but it's not the same. So thank you for committing to it, getting it done, and thanks for supporting the new GM because, like I said, wherever it may be, the team wins, not the individual. The team wins together. So thank you, and thank you for supporting me.
Well, thank you for those kind words. I appreciate it. We do have a great team.
Absolutely.
And she don't have to drive a long way.
And I don't have to drive.
Thank you guys very much.
Did she
She also said the general manager was pretty smart.
The old general manager?
That's all I'm going to say.
Public Works update, John, how?
Yeah, since our last meeting, last board, Public Works Department has repaired 5 service line leaks. They've cleaned 8,000 feet of 22-inch trunk line in the sewers. They've assisted the wastewater treatment plant with sludge pond repairs and also the weir box installation. That weir box installation, when we got it, was just sheets of aluminum, and we had it sheared to the right sizes, and then our wastewater plant operator, Al, welded it all together. And like Ryan said, we installed that today.
That's awesome.
They've also been working on uncovering some of the valve cans and sewer manholes that the county paved over. And we finalized 12 lots for this week for the new construction. And that's all I have.
When they pave over those, do we have to bring them up to grade, or is that a cost that we have to incur, or do we just leave them with the kind of a little pothole there?
No. We have to bring them up there, guys.
Yeah.
That's on our cost, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that like a sleeve extension, or, I mean,
Yeah.
depending how deep they are, then we have to have that shaft, and that
either
almost a couple of times.
We would just throw a couple wedges in the ring to raise it.
Sometimes we throw wedges, or we actually put an extra ring in.
Yeah, depending on the height. But they're just pretty much doing a lightweight coating over it, so it's not much to get
Not
to
that thick.
and raise.
Yeah.
Exactly. They are marking, huh? Where your
Well-
manhole, you don't have to go out and look for it, do you?
They have marked some of them, but some of them we've had to go out and locate also.
That's always fun.
Yeah.
Metal
All right.
detector will help.
Anyone have any questions for John? All right, I have a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Motion, Director Stewart. Second? I'll second. Second, Director Wallace. We are adjourned at 6:47. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.